Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of. Sorry, I'm going to keep doing that. But welcome to your reading for the week of June 10th. You have this card, the man, and you also have this card, the mountain. So I don't know where all my oracle cards are, so we're just going to use Lenormand for one of the rows for your first row, which is your current general energies. And with the man here, there definitely could be a man or a person that you are interested in. Again, I don't attach gender to my cards in these general readings. And also, the table I got is too small. So I'm going to have to put the oracle cards off to the side instead of on top. But, it is what it is, right? But anyway, the man in the mountain definitely could say that there's a person you're interested in, but there could be some obstacles to getting to that person. We're gonna have to take a look and see what the reading itself says here. I also kind of feel that maybe if you are interested in a person, because the man is a good card for love, just in general, the Ace of Cups or the Ace of Hearts here, and so there could be love that's available to you, but the mountain can say that there are some obstacles to overcome, or there's something like you need to take a risk here. What's really funny about the reading itself is the fact that your very first card is the Fool. The Fool has some iced cap mountains in the background of the card there, and the ice cap mountains in the tarot can definitely represent needing to like take some sort of risk or needing to take some sort of leap of faith or needing to get moving because the ice in the tarot can represent being frozen or being frozen in place. So I'm wondering again, if you are interested in a person, this could represent you needing to take a leap of faith. This could also say that you are worried about creating some sort of tower moment. One thing I will say is that you have the Tower to the Judgment card, and Tower to Judgment to me is the most powerful combination in the tarot. To me, these two cards together would represent kind of like some sort of major revelation or a major realization, like a big light bulb moment going off in your mind when those two cards come up together. So when they come up together, to me, it's much more positive than just having the Tower, for example, because again, that would represent some sort of realization. And it doesn't necessarily have to be a Tower moment, but I do kind of feel also that there might be, here you go. You have the King of Cups right here, which could be this person or a person. And this could say that there's some sort of risk that you would need to take, or maybe there's something that you have to let go of in your life because you have the Eight of Cups here. The Eight of Cups is the only card in the tarot that has an eclipse on it. So it could say that there's something that you need to eclipse out of your life so that you can have a relationship or so that you can meet a person. The funny thing is for some of you, I don't even think this is a person. I think that this is something that that your heart belongs to. Let's put it that way. Especially having the Page of Wands coming up here, this could say that there is something that kind of like belongs to your heart, or there's something that your heart belongs to, as in, there's something you're passionate about or something that you're excited about in your life, and you're really wanting to create it or have it. And it could be like a goal, wish, or dream. It could be, something new that you want to do in your life, or a hobby or something that you enjoy that you want more of in your life. I'm getting like all those things popping into my head here. And, this could say that there are some things that you would have to let go of so that you can have more of what you enjoy in your life. And I definitely get that feeling off this first row. Again, next you have the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords, I'm just getting more of that, like, don't jump to conclusions energy for you, Leo. I think we're in a time where, there is a lot of astrology that I believe that can just make people jump to conclusions about, pretty much everything. And I feel like this is saying, this is why I always say in my readings, be open to adventure, be open to being wrong, be open to curiosity, because you never know. It could just, open up the world to you. And I think that the Knight of Swords is kind of saying that maybe you need that, or maybe you need to open up the world here. This new table is also very slippery, so I almost just ruined your entire reading. But let's see. With the Fool card, you have the Eight of Swords. Like I said, needing to get, I mean, pretty clear to me here, Leo, pretty straightforward. I think that you need to open up here, or you need to kind of like take a leap in a new direction. I just realized that I didn't pull the fourth row of cards, so we're going to do that in just a second here. But I feel that for a lot of you, this is saying that you need to take some sort of leap of faith, or you need to set yourself free from something that you are frozen on, or that you have been frozen on, so that you can move forward. The funny thing is, as well, that also the card that I forgot to pull for you in your first row is the Five of Wands. The Five of Wands is a card of like needing to go on an adventure. You always get this card with me, and I always say this card is, I call it Indiana Jones, because to me it's like a card of needing to go on some sort of crazy adventure, or needing to do something that could be adventurous. It's kind of like going on a crazy adventure to get a reward. And right here, you have the sorry. There's also a piece of metal down here, Leo. It's my first day doing this, so there you go. But you have the Chariot, and the Chariot would kind of represent charging in a new direction, or doing something new or something like that. You know what the weird thing is, Leo, as well? I'm a total mess today, if you can't tell, but I never pull a fourth row on the bottom. But for some reason, my brain was like, oh, you missed the fourth row on the bottom, probably because of this right here. Normally, I just go four across. We're going to roll with it. You're getting an extended reading today, but I think that this is really saying that there's some sort of risk that you need to take, or there's some sort of leap of faith that you need to take with this energy. But also, I think that you need to like unfreeze yourself, but I think the frozen energy could be in your, like, could be your mind, is what I'm getting off of the reading. Like, you need to set your mind free, remove limitations, face limitations as well. And with the Page of Wands, you have the Page of Cups. I do feel that there could be a surprising kind of like love connection here. It could be a water sign. You've had water all up in your business. As a water sign, us water signs, we'll just spy on you from the bushes, and we'll just stare at you and not say anything. So I'm totally calling out the water signs here. But I kind of feel like there could be a person where you're just like wondering if they're interested. I would say yes, they're interested, especially if you come home and they're like in one of your bushes or something like that. Then yes, that person is probably interested. There you go. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is about being spoiled for choice, or having a lot of options. So I think you have a lot more options in life than you realize. And again, we were saying something here about needing to face your limitations. It's like, I think there are certain reasons why you think you can't do something, and you're actually, that's probably true, by the way. Those limitations probably do exist, but I feel like the Seven of Cups, and also just everything going on here, is kind of like saying, how can you do something anyway? Even if there is a limitation. It's like, is there a way you can do something even if there is a limitation? And, I kind of get that energy off of the Seven of Cups. With the Five of Wands, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is like the need for resting, relaxing, recovering. I also get this need to like not take things too seriously. So again, there might be serious things that are going on in life. That's true for everyone. But I feel like this is saying, like, make sure that you're also taking time to enjoy yourself. Make sure you're taking time to nurture yourself and care for yourself, and, all those other good things here, Leo, as well. Next, in the area of the unexpected, you have this Treasure Island card and this To the Sea card. I don't really feel that there's much unexpected here, but just like a little bit. I think the unexpected thing that you could be doing, maybe not even this month, by the way, as well, but I'm just getting like between now and September, is that you could be going on an unexpected adventure. But I don't think it's like, some sort of like clickbait unexpected thing. I think that this is more, like you join a class for that where you learn something, and maybe you just weren't expecting to do that. Or maybe you go on vacation, or maybe you travel somewhere and you just weren't like expecting to do it. And I think that the Treasure Island card is saying like what you're going to get out of it is totally worth it. So, again, if you're thinking about traveling or taking a class or doing something that could be a little bit more adventurous, like opening up to that, I think could be the thing that brings some treasures into your life, or brings some, abundance in for you. In this row, you have the Seven of Wands, the Tower, the Chariot, and the Six of Swords. In a lot of ways, and on a very simple level, this could just be a move. So if you're planning a move, or if you're thinking about moving, I think that these would be awesome cards, obviously, for making a move. The Seven of Wands is kind of like the card of establishment. He is established in the place that he is. He is established himself at the top of this mountain. But it's like sometimes maybe he needs to leave the mountain, or the hill that he is defending. Maybe he needs to go have new experiences or try new things. And I kind of feel that energy more than anything. Normally, I would say that I look at the Seven of Wands as a good card of, being at the top of that hill. He's not necessarily prepared, but he needs to defend his position. It's card of conviction. It says when you know that something is going to be successful, will be successful. But I kind of feel this reading is more talking about variety and bringing more variety into your life. They say variety is a spice of life, right? You have the tower. Again, not that big of a deal because we have the judgment card also showing up right here. But I would also say that I think that, this could be a big light bulb moment that you're having in your life, of course, which we already talked about. But I also feel that this could just be a move. You have the tower. You also have the chariot showing up here as well. And the chariot can represent a move or traveling or going in new directions, doing new things. The chariot is also as above, so below. And that treasure island card in the wisdom of the oracle is the as above, so below card. He has these stars in his canopy, these moons on his shoulders, and it just represents as above, so below. So I think that your inner world will match your outer world and vice versa. So I always say that I think it's like better to work on both, right? I think it's better to, I think a lot of people, like a lot of attraction teachers say like, oh, you have to fix your inner world and everything like that, which is like great. But it's like if your outer world also sucks, then it's really hard to make your inner world not suck, right? So I'm very realistic. I like to look at it realistically. And I think in a lot of ways, we also have to like clean up our environment or create a positive environment. I always say that like years ago, I was in this apartment and I couldn't sleep at all. And I moved my bed. I like cleaned some things up and moved some things around. And it's like amazing, like how I slept after I did that. But also, it's amazing how much more productive I was. Even just now, I just had to move and they refused to deliver my pod, right? So I had to throw everything away. I had to get like all new stuff so that I could actually move. I just didn't have time. And it's like amazing. While during that process, like while I was getting rid of everything, I was like 10 times more productive, even though I was super busy moving, and also I had to travel to Texas to speak during that time, and like I had all this stuff going on. But I got like more work done than ever because I'm convinced it's because I got rid of everything, right? So again, I think that sometimes when we clean up our outer world, it does affect our inner world, and there's something I don't want to keep babbling on about that, but there you go. You have the Six of Swords. Yeah, moving on, releasing, letting go of things. And I really do feel that a lot of you are, maybe you're shedding things like I did, right? And I think that it could be very, very beneficial. With the Seven of Wands, you have the Six of Wands. I do feel it's time for Leo to shine. It's like there are all these little things inside of you that I think are like begging to burst out, right? All these goals, wishes, dreams, things, the way that you want to be seen. It's time. I think I've said it before to you in the past that it's time, I believe, for Leo to get their crown, live life with no limitations and really kind of show the world what you're made of, right? And I'm not saying this is going to be easy. You're going to have to put the work in, but looks really good. With the Tower, you have the King of Cups. Yes. See, I think this right here could just be a surprise. I think that there could be a person that is like shocked that they're interested in you, or maybe you're just not expecting it. I also feel if you are looking for love, that there could be a person that is kind of like different than your usual type, or there's just like some sort of difference here is what I feel. With the Chariot, you have the Hermit. I thought you had the Hermit twice. You don't, but the Hermit is about, again, those little things inside of you, right? He has the star inside his lantern here. And I always say, like, he needs to shine that star out all over the place. The story of the Hermit is that he's climbed to the top of the mountain and he's done some soul searching. And sorry, I'm trying to figure out where to hold the cards here, but he's climbed to the top of the mountain and he's learned something. But after he has learned something, like his next step is to come down from the mountain and share with the world what he has learned. So you have gone through challenges, difficulties, but also good things as well in life, right? Both. And now it's time for you to like show the world what you're made of. And that's kind of where I feel like this reading is going. With the Six of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles. See, I like, just looking around at all 900 cards that I've laid out for you here, Leo, I get the feeling that you really, I think that it's like you don't want another disappointment, right? And I feel like that's what this is. We even go up here to the King of Cups. And so I feel like you're saying to yourself, like, oh, I'm interested in a person, yada, 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 whatever the case may be. And you could be just saying to yourself, like, but I'm interested in a person, but I could not take it if this person rejected me, or I could not handle it if this person, let me down or something like that. And I don't know where this is going, but, I think that this is saying, number one, don't underestimate yourself here. Even if you're not interested in love, maybe you're saying to yourself, like, oh, if my boss rejects me, or, if this job rejects me, I just couldn't handle it. And I feel like this is saying, like, give yourself more credit, and kind of set yourself free. We see this is like a really good reading, right? But we see a lot of imagery just in general. Right here is an anchor, right? And so an anchor holds you down. And there's a lot of imagery in this reading of kind of needing to release yourself from something, or needing to unfreeze yourself from something. You even have the judgment card, which I'll show you in a minute, and I'll tell you why that kind of represents holding on to something, or needing to release yourself, needing to come down from that ice-capped mountain. We see ice-capped mountains all over the place. Fool, also the Hermit, the judgment card in the back of the card, and also the moon. So we'll talk about that. But in your next row here, for what's coming in for you, you have this illumination card and this abundance card. So clearly a lot of abundance. I don't think that this is something that's just going to magically happen. As I always say, I think that this is what you've been working towards. So if you've been putting work into, whatever it is that you create or work on in your life, I think that's where you're going to get the abundance. Obviously, if you don't work on things, or you haven't been working on anything, nothing's going to happen. But now is the time. I always tell people, like, even if you haven't been doing the work, right? Start doing the work and you'll get the abundance. So I would definitely do some work. You have the Judgment card, Eight of Cups, the Magician, and the Emperor. The Judgment card is about waking up and answering the call. But again, there are these ice-capped mountains in the background of the card. So I think you have to set yourself free. But again, I think this is about, again, letting those little things inside of you out that are like bursting to come out. But, for Leo, I think just looking at your chart, and I've said it to you before, and I'm going to say it to you again, it's like there are things you've always wanted to do. And I think those are the things that you need to do. And even if it means that you've always wanted to take a cooking class, right? But you've just never done it. I think it's time for Leo to like put themselves first in a big way. And I think that's a call that you need to answer. It's like, I don't think you're going to get anything in life by, doing the Leo self-sacrifice thing where you put everybody else first, right? So, there's no other way to say it. I think even if, we all have responsibilities, we all have things that we have to do, but even if you just do like one nice thing for yourself, or, do something that you've always wanted, just one thing, I think that would make like the world of difference, in your life. And again, this comes from, it will change the environment around you. And there's something in this reading about like needing to change the environment around you. You have the Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about walking away from things that no longer serve you. So obviously, I think it would be a good time to cut out any bad habits, or anything that's holding you back, or anything that you want to release. You have the Magician, and actually, I'm going to show you here, because the Magician is pointing down to the Moon card, and I feel that you could be attracting, or kind of manifesting or working on one of your dreams. The Moon is like a card of fears, fantasies, illusions, but it is showing up in the area of the good stuff. But also, I always say that to me, the moon is a dream that you need to bring down to earth. It is like something that you've always wanted to manifest, and I think that's what you're working on here. You have the Emperor. Yeah, I think it's time to take positive control of your life. I think it's time for you to kind of really make things happen. I also get like rebirth vibes here. He has this ankh that he's holding onto in his hand here. And the ankh can represent, or it is a symbol of rebirth. The Judgment card can also represent a rebirth. But, to me, I'm getting that this is like a rebirth in the sense that you are getting like a second chance, or there is like, I kind of get like a second chance here on something that you've always wanted to do. Like maybe you've always wanted to be a pilot, for example. It's like maybe you thought that it wasn't possible, but now like you're getting a chance to like take a class. Like I said, I keep getting something about taking a class. If you're thinking about, taking a class, but it feels like local to me, like I said. So this feels like you taking a cooking class at like a community college, or you getting your pilot's license, or you getting your real estate license. It's like there's something about like the energy being right around you. I keep wanting to say the word environment in your reading. So I think that it's like right around you. This is something like an in-person class. This isn't like an online thing, or, it could be, but, I think this is something that you're going to do in person. With the Judgment card, you have the Page of Swords. Yeah, time to get curious. Page of Swords, childlike energy, tapping into your curiosity. With the Eight of Cups, you have the Knight of Swords. Yeah, no rushing, and no second guessing yourself, and no assumptions. I think I said that on the first Knight of Swords. With the magician, you have the fool. Yeah, how funny is it as well that you have the fool, the tower, to the fool? It's almost like a second chance. It's almost like you took a risk in the past, it didn't work out, but now you're getting another chance right here with the fool. So I think you've attracted something kind of like background into your life. I don't think this is like a person, but if it is love, for example, I think it's like love with a new person. But I also feel for a lot of you, this has to do with like a skill. With the Emperor, you have the Ten of Wands. Definitely a need to release the whole entire reading. The Eight of Cups, all the ice cap mountains in your reading. I think that there's a need to kind of release things that are keeping you frozen, or I think it's time to work through those moments where you feel like you are freezing and not moving forward. You have this card that says, "Show the world the real you," which we talked about, those little things inside of you that are bursting out. It's like no more nice energy. And it doesn't mean you're being a jerk or being mean, but I think this is about putting yourself first. You have this card that says personal issue reaches resolution. So I think things are cleaning up for you. I even think like if you're worried about money, for example, things like that, that those are the things that are cleaning up, which is making it easier for you to like take a cooking class or whatever the case may be. You have the Three of Pentacles, the King of Cups, the Nine of Wands, and the Moon. So the Three of Pentacles says teamwork makes the dream work. Yeah, anything you can do to work together with other people. But I think that this type of energy is very specific for Leo. If I were a Leo, I would be focusing on people who really fill in the gaps. Those people who kind of make up for the things that you're not good at, or who can who have skills that you don't have, or whatever the case may be. Those are the types of things I would be focusing on here with the Three of Pentacles for sure. So yeah, that looks really, really good. I also feel if you are attracting love, you could be attracting a King of Cups type person. I think this is like a very heart-based person. I even think this person makes you a little nervous, not like in a bad way, but just like the way they live their life. This person is meant to teach you something, I'm getting, and I think what this person's meant to teach you is that you don't have to have all the answers. It's kind of funny how this is like popping into my head. It's almost like this person, it's like you see the way this person lives their life, and it's almost like I see them in my head like walking a tightrope, right? It's like that type of person where you almost feel like this person takes too many risks, right? Or maybe they lack a certain structure in their life. It kind of reminds me of like an entrepreneurial energy. It's like they don't have the structure of a job, and maybe you appreciate more security. There's a million more examples I could give you, but it's like I feel like this person like lives their life in an opposite way. It makes you a little nervous, but I think also this person is meant to teach you like how to take risks, or how to do something else, whatever the case may be. So there you go. You have the Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior. I definitely feel like you've been through it here, Leo, but it seems to me like you're kind of coming out on the other side. You have the Moon, again, some sort of dream that you need to manifest. I feel like you are manifesting a dream into your life. I don't think this is necessarily going to be like easy necessarily, but again, I think it's something that you've been working on for a long time. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Sun. You showing up in a very strong position. I think you are taking the lead right here, and I do feel that you are standing out as kind of like a leader. Here you go, with the King of Cups, told you. I knew this. These two are meant to look very different. The whole point of the Two of Cups is that they are meant to be two totally different people. So there are a lot of differences here. I even think like some of you might meet this person. They might have like a little bit of an ego as well as what I'm getting, but not like a toxic ego. I think that this is the type of person. But what I'm trying to say here is I think this is a person, they say things and they actually have the goods to back it up. Like, maybe you meet them and they tell you a bunch of stories and you're like, okay, whatever, but I think they have the evidence, the proof to kind of back up what they say. So that looks good. I see this as something that could start out with communication as well. And with the Nine of Wands, you have the Five of Wands. It's like we can't avoid conflict no matter what. And I think maybe that's something that's holding you back a little bit as well. It's like I see this a lot. It's funny because I work with a bunch of YouTube groups, and this kind of reminds me of this energy where it's like I see a lot of like new YouTubers that I've been working with, for example, where it's like they're afraid to like step on toes, or they're afraid to have opinions. And it's like I am convinced you could hand out $100 bills and someone's going to be upset about it, right? So it's like you cannot make everyone happy. And I really get this energy from your reading that it's like saying like once you can move past that, like needing people to like you or whatever the case may be, you're gonna get what you want, whatever it is, whether it's money, love, business, it doesn't matter. With the moon, you have the four wands. Four wands card of marriage. You could marry this person right here. So are you going to marry them today? Of course not. But could you marry them over the next couple of years? Absolutely. You can't make this up. I'm pulling three main themes here. I can't find my tea leaf oracle deck, but you have the stability and security card, but it is an anchor here, Leo. So I would remove the anchors from your life, the things that are preventing you from moving forward. You have this dove card that says peace and serenity. Like, I think this is a good bad card for you, Leo, based off this reading. I think you want peace and security, but it's like sometimes we have to interrupt our peace to get something we want. And I feel the whole entire reading, everything going on here, is saying don't be afraid to interrupt your peace, or don't be afraid of things that might interrupt your peace. It's like sometimes we have to like work long hours to make something successful, or sometimes we have to take a risk to upset people, and maybe someone won't like us if we say something or whatever. And I think that this is saying, yeah, like obviously do things to keep the peace, but also don't be afraid to interrupt your peace. You have this rabbit, it says pregnancy and fears on it. I actually feel this is pretty good because I think that, again, they're like you're pregnant with little things, little ideas that are trying to burst free from you. And I feel this is saying, let it out, Leo. Let out those things that you're trying to create in your life. But damn, I like this reading, really good. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your